Council agenda, Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, Township Council agenda meeting of February 3rd, 2026. Introduction, posting of notice. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Law by filing notice in the office of the Township Clerk and by posting the meeting notice on the bulletin board at the Municipal Building on December 4th, 2025, which remained posted since that date. A legal notice appeared in the Daily Record and in the North Star Ledger on December 17th, 2025. May I please ask everybody to stand for the flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Here.
Mr. McGrath has an excused absence. Mr. Kavanaugh.
Here.
Ms. Patel.
Here.
Ms. Hernandez.
Here.
Okay, Council President, we have a quorum. May I begin?
Yes, please.
Okay. Upcoming meetings, February 17th, 2026 at 7 p.m. regular meeting. March 3rd, 2026 at 7 p.m. is the agenda meeting. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and ask the council to quickly review the ordinances for second reading. As you know, this is an agenda meeting, so there's no action, just for your review.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
I'll bring it up just later.
Okay.
Okay, seeing there's no questions under ordinances second reading, we're going to move along to the public session. At this point, I'd like to entertain a motion to open the public session.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Patel, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Ms. Patel.
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes.
Floor is open to the public. You have 5 minutes to speak on any matter. Anyone can come up unless you're Nick or Bob. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's ready for you, Bob. Mike's
All right.
hot.
Bob Venezia of Parsippany. At the January 6th council meeting, Councilman McGrath made a motion to introduce an ordinance that would repeal the Park Land-X pilot and the Land-X warehouse pilot. When no one seconded the motion, the matter was immediately dropped. Since then, I performed my own inquiry and have determined that there is sufficient reason to declare both of those pilots null and void. The Land-X warehouse pilot should be repealed because the developer breached one of the clauses contained in the pilot agreement. The Park Land-X pilot should also be repealed because, in my opinion, the developer made a fraudulent claim for personal gain, and that is to obtain a lucrative $117 million tax break. Regarding the Land-X warehouse pilot, the language in Article 15 of the agreement, titled Certification as to the Commencement of Construction, is crystal clear. It prohibits the developer from beginning construction of the project prior to the approval of the pilot application by an ordinance authorizing the pilot by the township's governing body. The uncontested fact that the Land-X warehouse was more than half completed before the ordinance was adopted is an obvious violation of Article 15 and thus constitutes a breach of contract. I believe that the governing body has no choice but to move Councilman McGrath's motion forward and ultimately vote to repeal ordinance 2025-32. The Park Lanedex apartment pilot should be repealed for an entirely different reason. As I stated earlier, I believe the developer made a fraudulent claim in order to mislead the governing body into approving a pilot agreement that would grant the developer a mind-boggling $117 million tax break. The developer's assertion that the park project was not financially feasible without a pilot convinced the council to approve the pilot. But in my opinion, there is a preponderance of evidence indicating that no pilot was ever needed. This evidence includes the fact that interest rates are lower now than when the 275 apartments and 75 townhouses in Park Phase 1 were built, and they were built without a pilot. So it will be actually cheaper to finance Phase 2. In addition, there are substantial savings in construction costs that can be achieved by constructing identical apartment buildings at the same property after the first building has been in operation for a while. Drawing information from the Construction Review Online website and other construction websites, artificial intelligence estimates that the savings from just one more 275 unit building can amount to 12 to 15% of total development costs, which translates to construction cost savings of $8 to $20 million. For 4 extra buildings, the savings would be $32 to $80 million. The handout you received lists about a dozen areas where savings can be achieved. For example, architectural and structural plans can be reused, and only minor extensions and lateral connections are required for roads, sewers, water, and gas and electric utilities that were installed for the first building. Therefore, construction of Phase 2 of the park development will cost tens of millions of dollars less than Phase 1. Logically, if the developer was able to complete Phase 1 without a pilot, then certainly he can complete the much less expensive Phase 2 without needing one. In my opinion, the assertion that Phase 2 is not financially feasible without a pilot is a fraudulent statement solely intended to secure the council's votes necessary to obtain a $117 million tax break from the town of Parsippany.
30 seconds. You have 30 seconds.
All right, I'm gonna have to skip some. I'll just go right to the,
Get right to the conclusion, Bob.
just right to the. So tonight I'd like to request 2 things. One, the council votes yes to introduce Councilman McGrath's ordinance that would repeal both pilots so that there can be a thorough discussion of the pros and cons of each agreement. And second, I would like the township attorney to confirm that the Lanedex warehouse developer did indeed violate Article 15 of the pilot agreement.
Thank you,
Thank
Bob.
you.
How are you, Bob?
I'm good.
Okay.
Now, before you start, I do want to say something, Bob. You know you're awesome. There's not going to be a back and forth. You spoke, right? You can't speak now, Bob. I'm sorry. If you want to say something after, you stick around and talk to him after, just to be fair to the public. But just so you know.
I don't know what he's gonna, I mean, I expect him.
But I'm just saying,
If he's reading the same thing I'm doing.
see, this is already happening, Bob.
Yeah,
Can't be a
right.
back and forth, all right? So thank you, sir. Go ahead, Joe.
So, Council President, if I can?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So, with the Lanedex warehouse, right, the section article you cite, which is Article 15, is in the application. It's not in the financial agreement. So the application, at the time of application, that was a clause that the developer put in. That clause is not carried into the final contract or agreement. It's not in there. I read it. I read it a couple times.
You pulled it out.
I didn't pull it out. I don't know who pulled it out. I'm just telling you,
That's-
the final contract does not have that representation into it. You're absolutely right that Section 15 makes that representation, but My understanding, and you were here and everyone else was here, when that pilot was voted on by the prior council who was here, they were fully aware that the building was under construction. They adopted the agreement as written, which did not, so they waived that by adopting it. So there was really no basis for me to legally recommend to this council to undo that. And the problem is, we're at a point where there's a justifiable reliance, right? A developer now has a signed agreement, goes to a bank, shops it around and does stuff. To undo it is not going to be, in my opinion, a successful venture. The council voted at that point in time with the information presented to them. That clause that you hang your hat on is not part of the actual final signed, sealed contract. It was in the application. My belief is it got excused or waived. That's one. With regards to the park one, you're correct. There are economies of scale. There are also more cost effective, right? I love AI, but AI doesn't always give you the exact cost. The way the pilots were done, doesn't mean that they will be done or will be reviewed the same way. The way they were done was they were given to a financial company to look at that. That fraudulent claim that you made, the town does hire and does have financial advisors who review that and ask for pro forma. My conversations with them about the quality of both of those pilots, whether or not they did an analysis and whether or not they presented that analysis to the prior council, was yes, they did look at it, yes, they did agree with it, and yes, they thought it was financially viable and they didn't find any fraud. That was that view of those professionals. There is nothing here, I understand your numbers and things, but there is nothing here that rises to a level where I could in good conscience suggest to this council that they should do and buy themselves a lawsuit for the town to undo two validly adopted pilots by ordinance after the estoppel period has passed. That's my opinion.
So,
You can see me afterwards.
after, I'm sorry, Bob.
I'll buy you coffee.
Listen, right after, if you want, you can talk, but just to be fair to the public, because I'm not going to allow them to do rebuttals, so I can't do that. As much as I like you and respect what you do, Bob, you know that. Thank you, sir. You could come back after. He's
Don't worry,
here.
Nick's gonna ask to follow up.
Yeah, Nick's going to follow up for you. Don't you worry. All right, Nick. See, I don't have to worry about you as much.
Yeah, Nick Komiak, Lake Hiawatha. In Bob's defense, can we be sure Mr. Inglesino was involved with this warehouse? I was at the planning board meetings when he did this. Number one, that warehouse was placed outside the guidelines for proper warehouse locations. The developer created his own hardship, and we were listening to all the things he had to do and all the miracles Mr. Inglesino was going to perform for him to get this warehouse. It seemed this guy must have a lot of money. So there was something fishy. But are you sure that contract wasn't tampered with before the council
So,
got
was
to
not going to answer
review
that.
it?
Not yet. Only ask all your questions,
Get to
and
your
then,
end, if that's all you got.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then we'll
but
respond.
just because something to me is just not right. And the most not right was the town promoting it when it was outside the proper guidelines for warehouse locations. So I'll leave it at that. We gotta watch out because, you know, the state of New Jersey, we're making a lot of warehouses now. Like, we made too many malls and office spaces, and now we're gonna make, what, too many warehouses? And what's gonna happen? We're gonna have a private prison? You know? So, not for anything, but I can't emphasize the fact enough that under this Trump administration, we don't have a constitution anymore. We're in a post-constitution America. So for curiosity, I happened to review the grievances that the colonies gave for why they were displeased with the royal policies, the royal prerogatives of the King of England, George III at the time, toward the colonies. There were 20 27. 23 of those grievances are still, they exist. They're still relevant. What we're dealing with the Trump administration. And like I said, we're dealing with fascists here. And fascists have been around ever since the Russian Revolution. The countermeasure to socialism, God forbid the rich have to spare their money, was fascism. And it's still around, and it's backed up by big money. So we're in just a really bad. I'm glad the resolution passed, but if some private property owner has a warehouse and he wants to turn it into a concentration camp, are we really going to be able to? What needs to be done if this keeps up over the next 3 years? Governor Sherrill and other governors in this country stop paying taxes to the federal government, because we pay taxes right now, we get absolutely nothing in return. We don't even have health care. And all these financial problems, that's where they originate, in Washington, D.C. Because we live in an empire, we don't live in a country. We don't take care of the states of the United States. So you have health care, education, affordable housing, meaningful jobs. They're known as passive rights of citizenship. But we're all brainwashed, oh, the greatest country in the world, but we don't have passive rights of citizenship? So, wake up. And this 4th of July, I don't know what anybody's celebrating. So I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Nick. Any other member from the public wish to speak?
Jack Raya. I had a whole prepared thing to write, but a couple of things. As far as the pilots go, pilots are there to create an incentive. Since the warehouse is halfway under construction, the incentive to give a pilot to the warehouse goes away. And so I don't even know why that was even an issue. And then the other thing is regarding fascism. It was Ludwig von Mises who described fascism as Italian-style socialism, and all the great socialists, the infamous socialists of the past, or I'm sorry, the infamous fascists of the past started off as socialists. So now to my thing. Normally, the letter to the editor pages of the Parsippany Focus deal with local issues. However, an unfortunate vote by the town council has brought a controversial national issue to its pages and to Parsippany. Last Tuesday, the town council voted 3-2 to pass the Orwellian-named SAFE Act, which will do nothing to enhance safety in Parsippany. The possible presence of ICE in Parsippany, while maybe disruptive in the short term, will enhance long-term safety in the town. It's unclear how the elected town council members develop a time version of blindness where they can't foresee the impact of their decisions beyond how it makes them feel. ICE has been engaged in Minnesota because the governor and the attorney general there, along with the mayor of Minneapolis, have recklessly and irresponsibly withheld the local police in dealing with crowd control. There would be no need for crowd control if the police had just given access for ICE to take those criminals in state and local prisons that are illegal immigrants. Some laughably refer to these riots as peaceful protests. Peaceful protests are polite to law enforcement officers, and they certainly do not interfere with law enforcement operations, nor do they bite off the finger of a law enforcement officer. That was not the case. That was the case in Minnesota and now in Los Angeles. Article 2 of the Constitution, and we haven't gone awry of the Constitution, despite what some people say. Article 2 of the Constitution gives the president the authority to enforce the law. That authority supersedes states' rights. Section 3 states that he shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. That doesn't mean some of the laws and not others, nor does it mean to only enforce the laws we like. You should remember that when voting on resolutions that may go against the Constitution. Despite profound disagreements with the previous administration and town council, they did not go against the Constitution. Roger Scruton's book, Fools, Frauds, and Firebrands, has a chapter, What is Left? He points out that the left has come to view liberty as a release from social constraints. Equality trumps all, and nothing can stand in the way of getting this goal. No existing custom, institution, law, or hierarchy, no tradition, distinction, rule, or piety overrules equality. Inequality is to be achieved at all costs. But let's not kid ourselves. There is a very real cost, and that will be paid by all Americans, including the people of Parsippany. Somehow the left feels that equality means global equality. That cannot be achieved. The American people consistently reject that premise. A longtime friend who was a concerned neighbor of the left asked me a fair question. How has illegal immigration affected me personally? Housing has been affected. My son wants to buy a house in Florida, but couldn't until recently because of shortage of housing from too many immigrants made housing unaffordable, especially since interest rates have also risen. Housing prices should have fallen during the time rates have risen. People coming into the country and doing the right thing are working towards citizenship, and they don't like illegal immigrants who cut in front of them in line. I had to visit someone at the hospital last week. He was put into the hallway of the emergency room because there is increased demand. Rightly, we don't turn people away, but somebody is paying for that, and that would be the taxpayers. Up until last year, crime has escalated. For sure, that escalation was not only because of illegal immigration, but also because of the demonic mentality that not all laws need to be obeyed and not all crimes are punishable. As a result, a majority of the country still wants mass deportation, despite the propaganda of the mainstream media.
You have 30 seconds.
And who in their right mind would defend violent criminals? Among those who do are paid protesters who are laundered money through NGOs after the passage of the Green New Deal and the Inflation Reduction Act, which served to create the largest inflation since the late 1970s. I hope you get away from the radical path you've chosen without a mandate and without discussion. This is one opinion that should be part of a larger discussion where all sides of the issue should be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member from the public wish to speak? Come on up. Just state your name for the public.
Richard Suarez, Parsippany. I'm going to bring the discussion back down to Parsippany for a while, if that's okay. I would like to welcome our new mayor and council members. I look forward to a fresh and enlightened administration. I would like to know what the status of the Lake Hiawatha Library is. The previous administration dragged its feet as to what the final outcome of the current building would be. Money was spent on a new roof and AC system last year. This was after the former mayor said he would not spend another nickel on that building. However, in all honesty, the building is so lacking in so many ways, it will never serve the growing needs of the public. Is a new building a possibility? The parking lot still has only one functioning light, a clear safety hazard that has been that way for a few years after going without any functioning parking lot lights for the prior 18 months. Nearly 2 years ago, I stated at a council meeting, the emergency outdoor staircase at the rear of the PAL had metal steps that were rotting away. Once again, a clear safety hazard. The steps are now blocked off by caution tapes, but no repairs have been made. Any idea what the status of this project is? I really am not sure if the town or the PAL is the responsible party for not addressing this issue. I have noticed many township vehicles that are fitted with snowplows driving around town with the snowplows still attached for long intervals between expected snowstorms. This is not a recommended practice. The added weight places stress on the front suspension of the trucks and can lead to hydraulic system failures because the hoses and pistons are always pressurized. Also, these vehicles are routinely parked with the blade in the up position. Should someone walk by, they could be subject to the the pressurized fluid striking them, and possibly have the snowplow blade drop on their foot if a hose failed. After spending 3 years in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and 1 year in Alaska, courtesy of the United States Air Force, I consider myself to be well-versed in snow removal do's and don'ts. Could these items be addressed? Also, the town council, could the town council remind residents they shovel or remove snow from the fire hydrants in front of their homes if they are capable of doing so? I also had my street plowed by the DPW 10 times, and the DPW did an outstanding job. I recently went to the town recycling center and was told that neither the city nor the county MUA recycles or accepts lithium batteries. This did not sound right. The county recycling center does in fact recycle lithium batteries, and they should never be placed in with regular trash. An appointment must be made with the county center in advance. Perhaps a small blurb on the town website could inform residents of this. Many other towns along Route 46 have signs stating "Welcome to," and then the town's name. Could something similar be mounted welcoming drivers to Parsippany? I realize the sign on the westbound lanes may be just before the adult book and video store, not exactly what you want to see by a welcome sign. But not much can be done about this. Is there any plans for such a sign in the future? One more thing. Doesn't even have a street name. There is a paved surface off of Vale Road, just before Winfield Avenue, that goes between Vale and what would be the back of the ShopRite parking lot. That's been closed off for I don't know how long. Is there a reason that it's been closed off? It would take, if people could use that road or that roadway, and it's in poor shape,
30 seconds.
it would alleviate a lot of the traffic on Route 46. And it would save, a lot of traffic there. People wouldn't have to wait at red lights, idling their engines. So if that's something that can be looked into, I'd appreciate it. I thank you all for your time and consideration.
Sir, can I get a copy of that? So, because you listed a lot of things, I'd like to respond to them at another meeting or pass that on. So, is that okay? Sure. Oh, I appreciate it. No,
Mr.
appreciate
Suarez,
it.
thank you, sir.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Anyone else? Seeing no one else? Okay, all right, see, that's why I give you guys a couple... State your name for the public.
Just real quick, I just want to thank the council members that voted last month for the resolution not to have the ICE facility in Parsippany. I appreciate you doing that. I know what Roxbury is going through right now. I know they're having a fight. And I appreciate the humanity and the decency to not do this in this town. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Somebody left the phone there?
Oh, that's great.
Was it Mr. Suarez? Did you leave your phone up
Did you
there?
leave your phone? Don't leave home without it. Yeah. Don't leave the council chambers either without it. You're welcome, sir.
Hi. Lisa Saladino. I live in Lake Parsippany. I didn't really have time to plan what I wanted to say tonight. Probably because lately it seems hard to get through a day. Because the things that are happening in this country, which I feel are more to be blamed on the people who are in power in our government right now than to be blamed on immigrants who came here fleeing countries that are unstable because of what the United States does in the rest of the world. And I asked for an answer as to why Councilman McGrath, who isn't here, and Councilman Karifi, who is here, voted no on both of the resolutions last week. I agree with anyone in this room who is thanking the members of the council who did vote yes on those resolutions, because we are in very scary times. And I don't care who you think is at fault. What matters is protecting the residents of our town. And just like the Constitution protects the residents and the people in the country, this town protects its residents. The town isn't going around saying, you don't have documentation, you don't get to be here. And I don't think the country should be doing it, quite frankly. I also don't believe, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. I have no issue with people having their own opinion and people saying how they feel. It's called the First Amendment. So say what you want to say, and I'll say what I want to say, okay? No immigrant is the reason why I was working my tail off for the last 40 years and struggling to be able to buy my own home, which I finally did 6 years ago in Parsippany, when I was able to come to a town that, quite frankly, was affordable, and I still think it's affordable. And I understand why people are saying it's unaffordable, okay? But I came from Kinnelon. There was no way I was ever buying a house there by myself. And I appreciate Parsippany for that reason. I came here, I bought my own home, I have my mom living with me. I am helping her in her elderly years with her health issues. My kids are grown. They're on their own. I'm extremely proud of them and everything they stand for. And I care about my neighbors, okay? Again, if someone has opinions, it's their right, okay? But my opinion is that when an administration cares about its people, it passes resolutions. I understand it's a resolution. I understand the federal government might come in here and say, eminent domain, we want to put a detention center in Parsippany. And if that happens, we need to be ready, okay? But the fact that the majority of the council spoke out against it, and the majority of the council is agreeing that we should be protecting all of our residents' privacy, and that we should not be cooperating with federal forces who, by the way, 10 years ago were walking around just as you are dressed tonight, Mr. Karifi, and they were not carrying weapons. And they were knocking on doors, and they were talking to people and saying, hey, there's an issue here. You missed this court date, or we need to get your documentation in order. And that's basically how it was handled. What's the reason for this? What's the reason for this escalation? I'd really like someone to tell me. What's the reason? What good is it doing? There's not going to be a temporary inconvenience for Parsippany residents. There's going to be permanent trauma. So again, I thank everyone who voted in favor of those resolutions. And I do ask Mr. Karifi, and I would still like a phone call from Mr. McGrath or an email if he doesn't want to speak to me, because apparently he got my information a week ago and I haven't heard from him. Okay, but I would like to know why you're voting no. And like I said, you have a right to your opinion, but to me it doesn't look like the opinion of someone who cares about all of the residents of the town.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Come on up.
Uh, Eric Densmore from Lake Hiawatha. Good evening, everyone. I'm up here tonight to talk about as many of you know, the crossing guard that was struck last week while they were doing their job in front of I believe it was the Northvale School. This is sort of the second time we had the young person who was killed a year and a half ago in a dreadful car accident. Now we have the crossing guard who was hit. And in both cases, I think we need to do a better job at preventing some of this. As far as the crossing guard situation is concerned, which is something I think the town government has a little bit more control over, I think that it makes a big difference from guard to guard. Some of the guards have a very high volume job. If you're in front of the high school or Northvale or any of the other schools. And then the other folks who have more what I would call neighborhood routes, and the volume of kids that you have to deal with is a lot less. It's a much safer job, for lack of a better term. I'm wondering if there's a way to kind of enhance both the safety and the training. Now, the guard that I know, she happens to be in front of my mom's apartment complex. She's been there a long time. She has a great rapport with the kids and definitely knew what they were doing. Okay, but I think the snow plays a part of it, as far as the guards not having a convenient place to kind of stand while the kids aren't there. I just feel as a town, we have, safety is a top priority. And I think we really need to look into preventing these things from happening, especially to crossing guards. And what would equally be as bad is if kids were hit on the way. So, thank you.
Eric,
Have a great evening.
was this during pickup? Just I'm curious.
Yes, it was, I don't have all the facts, but it happened around like 3:45, 4, which would have been at kind of the latter end of the pickup. What I see, at least, because as I said, I'm in front of that place.
So just in the future, I'm gonna allow this time, but it's not your fault. Council President asked the question. Nothing against you, Council President, but yeah, we don't do back and forth, so I just have to be fair to the public. I apologize to you, Mr. Dinsmore, you know that, but
Right.
afterwards, you can
No,
go ahead
and I don't want to break the rules.
No, I know, you're phenomenal. It's Council President, not you. Council
That's
President,
fine.
yeah.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Karifi, you're with traffic, so he's with you there. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Pizzano, that's right.
Tony Fasano, Morris Plains, part of Parsippany. Back up that gentleman's question. This is your worst enemy. If I put you in a Windsor Tractor Trail School simulator, it's worse than drunken driving. So until you turn around and get the automotive or the states to turn around and stop this
Yeah.
with your automatic, no hands, no whatever, your distracted driving, you would actually come up with DUI and DWI. Because what I'll do is put you in a simulator, hit you with different weather conditions, then piss you off. And that will actually make you totally drunk. So, you want to turn around and stop it? Stop the people on the, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other member from the public wish to speak? Okay, seeing no one, I'd like to entertain a motion to close the public session. Sorry, Nick, now he can't go twice.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Cavanaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
And Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
The floor is closed. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and
I'd like
ask...
to respond.
Sure.
I'd like to respond. So, Mrs. Saladino, you wrote an article, you wrote a letter to the editor in Parsippany Focus last week, and you said that you asked myself and Mr. McGrath for a reason, which, when I read that article, you never spoke to me. Never spoke to me. And I asked Mr. McGrath if you spoke to him, and he said, no, you did not speak to him either. I'm not going to go back and forth with you. So when you wrote that article, you did not speak to either one of us. Secondly, Mr. Ray, I could not agree with you more. I'm not going to support something that supports criminals. Not going to support something that supports criminals. I have no problem, you can shake your head all you want. I have no problem with people that come here and do it the right way. Matter of fact, those people are even more upset at these people that are doing it the illegal way. Okay? I don't have a problem with those people, but people that come here illegally and commit crimes.
I'm sorry.
We're not going back and forth.
Miss
Okay?
Saladino. Miss Saladino.
I'm going to give you an example.
I'm sorry, I apologize, but
The young girl that was just struck, the 8-year-old girl that was just struck.
Okay, he's not yelling, he's just speaking. He's not yelling at you, Miss Saladino. He's just speaking to the public.
No, I'm going to finish my statement.
Okay.
The young girl that was just struck by a rock on a bus that was thrown by an illegal alien that had an extensive criminal record that, if we were not a sanctuary state, would have been deported and gone a long time ago. But because our state, and when these people get arrested, they can't notify law enforcement to take them out. So that poor girl, that would have never happened. Would have never happened to that poor girl if this wasn't our state, the way our state operates. Lakin Riley, she'd still be here today if it wasn't for that, right? So I'm not going to support criminals, illegal aliens that are criminals that need to be deported out of this country. I have no problem with the law-abiding citizens that are coming here that are trying to do it the right way. But when you're a criminal, you need to go. That's just my belief.
Okay.
Just my belief.
Okay.
So, okay. And that's what I'm going to say, and I'm always going to support that. I support everything that's going on. Get rid of the illegal aliens that came here the wrong way that are criminals. They need to go. We need to protect our American citizens that are law-abiding. We're going to protect criminals that hurt our citizens, break into our houses, steal from us. They need to go.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so at this time, Mr. Karifi, you have anything left to say, sir?
No, that's it.
Okay, so at this time, we're going to go ahead and move on. So at this time, I'm going to ask the council to quickly review the consent agenda, please, and the approval of minutes. Okay, seeing that there are no questions, we'll move on to reports. Mayor, do you have any report today?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you, sir.
On behalf of the, hello?
Hello? Yeah, there it is.
On behalf of the township, I wish Mrs. Rocco a speedy recovery from the accident that she suffered a few days ago. The police are currently actively investigating the incident. And we had a sinkhole Thursday that appeared in Parsippany, and I visited them last night, and it's a sight to be seen. It was a sinkhole that I believe was probably made 40, 50 years ago, before we had zoning laws, and it seems like the previous owner just put some wood over it, and over the years the wood deteriorated, and it just fell through. The owners are pretty upset, the current owners are, but they understand this is something beyond their control, and things that happened before zoning laws, so there's nothing that could be done. So, you know, that's the end of my report.
Okay, Mayor, thank you, sir. So Town Council, before we go into reports, as I was speaking to the Council President, can we go ahead and have that motion in a second in a roll call for only the Class 2 member is Jennifer Smith?
Yes.
For now.
I do have to I'm going to make a motion for Jennifer Smith for the planning board as a Class 2 member.
Second the motion.
Perfect. So a motion was made by Ms. Hernandez, seconded by Ms. Patel, to appoint Ms. Jennifer Smith as a Class 2 member to the Planning Board. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go into a roll call. Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh?
Yes.
Ms. Patel?
Yes.
And Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay, so she has now been appointed. Thank you for that. Now we're going to move along to council reports. Do you guys have any reports?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everyone. The Economic Development Team, alongside Mayor Polkit Desai, formally welcomed Matthew Akershok as managing partner of the Parsippany Outback Steakhouse during a ribbon-cutting ceremony held on Saturday, January 31st. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Akershok brings a proven record of leadership, operational excellence, and a strong commitment to hospitality, team development, and serving the Parsippany community. If you have the opportunity, please stop in and say hello to Matt. The Economic Development Team, together with Mayor Polkit Desai, will celebrate the grand opening of Fine Kitchen and Bath, located at 745 Route 46 East, with a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Saturday, February 21st at 12 p.m. noon. The community is invited to attend and help recognize this local business for its continued investment in Parsippany and its commitment to serving the residents. The Parsippany-Troy Hills Economic Development Committee, in partnership with the Parsippany Area Chamber of Commerce, announces the Parsippany Veterans Banner Program is now accepting submissions to honor our community's veterans, active duty, reserve, and National Guard members. This program recognizes the brave men and women who have served our country with a beautiful, full-color 18 by 36 patriotic banner, proudly displayed along North Beverwick Road. Each banner features the honoree's photo, a basic military service information, serving as a lasting tribute and a public thank you from our community. For submission details and additional information, visit www.parsippanyveterans.com. This initiative underscores the Economic Development Committee's ongoing commitment to strengthening a vibrant and thriving local business community and ensuring Parsippany remains a destination of choice for businesses and entrepreneurs. The Economic Development Committee's next meeting will be held on Thursday, February 5th at 6:30 p.m. in the third floor conference room at 90 East Halsey Road. The public is welcome to attend. Please RSVP to Chairman Frank Cahill at 973-559-6000. Thank you.
Any other member from the town council? Okay, moving along to our township attorney.
No report, thank you.
Our business administrator?
Thank you. I just wanted to take the quick opportunity publicly to say thank you to the mayor and the governing body for unanimously appointing me at the last meeting that I've been to 3 meetings now in a week, so I feel like that could be a Parsippany record. But again, I'm really looking forward to getting to know my staff more. I've been doing a lot of just walking around the building, getting to know staff members. We had a little tour around the town today. Very much just I'm looking forward to seeing your town without a foot of snow, because the lakes look beautiful. I'd like to see them without the ice and snow. But yeah, very much looking forward to seeing your town, getting to know all of you. If anybody ever has any questions or needs to speak with the administrator, please, by all means, if you're in City Hall, come on by. Thank you.
Okay, I have no report and no reports for the committees, correct? Okay, moving along. Non-consent agenda. R 2026-48, authorizing the repair and replacement of the rescue and recovery RF site equipment damage due to a power surge. Motion to approve the resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, seconded by Ms. Patel. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh. Ms. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion passes. R 2026-49, authorizing award of a contract for the redevelopment services for production well A3 and development of test well TD-8-3R project. Motion to approve the above resolution.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Patel, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh. Ms.
Yes.
Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion passes. R 2026-50, authorizing a contract for risk management consulting services. Motion to approve the resolution above.
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Patel, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Ms. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion passes. R 2026-51, rescinding resolution R 2025-221 and revoking support for Cipher Dispensary LLC's application to the Cannabis Regulatory Commission for a Class 5 recreational dispensary license. Motion to approve the resolution above.
Motion. Second.
Motion made by Ms. Patel, seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Ms. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving along to the approval of payroll and bills list. CFO Angelica Sabatini authorization for payment of, number one, authorized payment of the February 13, 2026 regular miscellaneous payroll estimated at $1,650,000. And number two, payment of bills from voucher list of 2/13/26, which is $1,478,741.68. May I please have a motion to approve the authorization for payment above, please?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, and let's pick one. Who are we picking? Council President. All right. Seconded by Ms. Hernandez. Roll call. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Ms. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
Motion passes. Can I please have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, seconded by Ms. Patel. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. Kavanaugh.
Yes.
Ms. Patel.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
We're adjourned. You have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
I think I understand one of the problems with this whole